WordPress is the most popular way to build a website in 2022, especially for non-software engineer and small business owners. The reason why is because it is quick and simple to learn, and it's pretty quick to build a website too. What is WordPress and how does it work? Those are the questions we're going to be answering in this video, so let's get started. Now, WordPress is the simplest way to build a website. It can literally be drag and drop if you want it to be. Not to mention, it is the most popular way to build a website. Nearly 45% of all websites on the internet right now are built using WordPress. That is a lot of websites if you think about it. So WordPress is an open source CMS, and CMS stands for Content Management System. To put this simply, it means that WordPress manages your content and all of the other important things on your website. WordPress was originally a blogging tool that came out in 2003. However, since then it has blown up into something much, much more. It has gone from being used strictly for blogging to being used in pretty much any industry out there. Let me give you an example of what it's used for. It is used for businesses, websites, LMS, e-commerce, blogging, social networks, photo galleries, resumes, portfolios, forums, membership sites, and so much more. Pretty much any kind of website you could possibly want or think of. Hey, I would really like to teach guitar lessons online. Well, there's a thing for that. It's called an LMS platform. It is a learning management system, and they have a lot of plugins there under that umbrella of LMS that you can go and put on WordPress and start selling courses online. If that's not your speed and maybe you want to sell some stuff, well, you could probably pick up WooCommerce, which is a plugin that turns WordPress into an e-commerce platform so that you can do drop shipping or sell things. WordPress is awesome. That's the bottom line here, guys. You can do pretty much anything with it, and it is a very impressive software and a very user-friendly software. What is the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org? Well, WordPress.org is actually known as self-hosted WordPress, which means they give you WordPress, the software for it, and you have to find a website or a hosting provider that will host that website for you or that software. These two things are separate. You have WordPress giving you the free open source software and saying, here you go, have fun with it, but they aren't offering you hosting, which means you don't have an actual address. Like you couldn't go to whatever your address is, say Racnerd.com in this situation, because your website is just a little WordPress thing right now, and it's not been uploaded to an actual web host who would host your website and people could go visit it. WordPress.org is extremely open. It is not restrictive in the slightest. You can do absolutely anything with it. WordPress.org is great. WordPress.com, on the other hand, is also pretty good. However, WordPress.com is the for-profit version of WordPress. With WordPress.com, you are going to get WordPress as well as hosting from that same exact company. This is a great solution at times. However, it is a lot more restrictive than normal WordPress. My solution has always been just go ahead and do WordPress.org and just self-host your WordPress website. Now, this can be done through your own hosting, for example, a computer, maybe a Raspberry Pi, something like that, or you can have somebody else, a third party, host it, for example, Racnerd. Racnerd's shared hosting plans are built specifically for WordPress and they're WordPress optimized. So it's a match made in heaven. And you can check that out at racnerd.com/shared-hosting. Now, as I mentioned, WordPress was made in 2003 and it was seen as a blogging tool. Well, time flies, especially for WordPress, since it is no longer mainly a blogging tool, but rather it has millions of themes and plugins built to help it. As I mentioned earlier, WordPress is open source, which means anybody can go in and see the code, and if they decide to, they can add on top of that code. Now, whenever somebody adds on top of that code to make WordPress do something that it doesn't normally do, that is seen as a plugin. What that means is that you can go to the plugin store, and let's say that you have a fancy restaurant. And on your fancy restaurant, you want people to be able to take reservations. So what you would do in that situation is you would go on to the plugin store, or you would go online and look for WordPress plugins that allow people reservations. You find the plugin, you add it to WordPress, it bolts it onto WordPress, you activate it, you set it up, and voila, now people can go onto your site and book reservations at your fancy restaurant. WordPress is pretty cool like that. It is a really nice software to have, and it has so many options out there that you can make use of. Who uses WordPress? Well, it's not just bloggers anymore, I'll tell you that. Pretty much every small business out there should have a website, and most of them are built on WordPress. And a lot of them are built on WordPress by the owner of the business because WordPress is just so easy to use and so user-friendly. You can use WordPress to take orders, make quotes, and a ton more things. In fact, whitehouse.gov is built on WordPress. Microsoft is built on WordPress. The Rolling Stones website is built on WordPress. So many things are built on WordPress. It's pretty cool. So, is it customizable? Yes. It is extremely customizable. It is a really robust system that is still easy to use once you kind of get in there, and you can do anything with it. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it can be used for a multitude of different website purposes. You can design it exactly how you want. In fact, if you want to, you can even learn some code and go in and change the CSS if it's not exactly how you like it. You can do absolutely anything with WordPress, and it is an amazing software to use. And finally, SEO on WordPress is amazing. The reason why is because WordPress is built with SEO in mind. SEO, if you don't know, is search engine optimization. And to use it in an example, basically whenever you go on a search engine like Google and you type in wedding photographers near me, the people with the best SEO, the best search engine optimization, are going to appear at the top. So obviously you want to have good SEO on your website, and WordPress makes it easy. Now the way that it does this is it has multiple areas that you can enter data into that are indexed by search engines and search from there. Beyond that, if you do write blogs, blogs are really good for your SEO, and there are some plugins that work really well with WordPress that you can use to boost your SEO. A really good example of one is called Yoast SEO. And it's great. It will index all of your pages and kind of give you a score and tell you what you need to do better and what you're doing good. If you're looking for an affordable shared hosting plan to host that WordPress website on, we here at RackNerd would love it if you would check us out, give us a shot. And whenever you give us a shot, if you end up using our services, we promise a 99.9% uptime guarantee for your website. If you want to check out some of our shared hosting plans, check out racknerd.com/shared-hosting. And like I mentioned before, our shared hosting is optimized for WordPress, so it's a match made in heaven. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.